looked down at my phone because I was trying to call my husband, and he was calling, said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm under a table."
Well, that couple was able to reunite. Both, they were not hurt, and they say it's a blessing that they are home to hug their children. And this is a live look right now at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. And we keep hearing these stories of the first responders who braved that gunfire in an effort to stop it. But now we are hearing from the security guards at the concert venue as they also ran toward the fight.
I have holes in my backpack from it being hit, but God willing, I didn't get hit.
So Kyle Robinson and his sister Chandra Bridges, they were working security that night. When the bullets began flying, they busted down fences and they directed people to those exits. One of their co-workers died in that attack. Now, the siblings think the venue should be turned into a memorial.
Pictures and names should be put up, that the whole area should just be used. The dirt lot, I mean, everything should just be used for a memorial.
So Kyle also thinks that the festival should return to Vegas as a sign of strength and respect, but he thinks a new location should be chosen far from those tall buildings.
Now for the gunman. A gun shop owner in Texas says the gunman came into his store last year asking about a way to modify a gun with bump stocks. Those are devices that will modify rifles to fire faster, repetitive rounds, mimicking a machine gun. Now we stopped by AJ1 Sporting Goods in Apache Junction, who says it's not an effective piece of plastic.
To bump fire it, you're kind of like spraying from the hip, and it's not a good way to shoot.
Half of the 23 gun arsenal found in the hotel room were rigged with those bump stocks.
Outrage over a middle school class project. Some parents say an assignment on the Civil War. It is going too far, forcing students to create weapons from the era. One Scottsdale mom tells us each 7th grader at Desert Shadows Middle School was given diagrams and pictures of Civil era guns and swords. And according to them, the more authentic, the better the grade.
We shouldn't be teaching kids, one, how to build weapons. In this day and age, especially as we're worried about kids' safety, school violence.
Right, she says that all of the students then recreate a battle at a nearby park, even pretending to kill each other. Paradise Valley School District says that all of the replica weapons, they are made entirely out of wood with the assistance of a parent. Meantime, the battle over our state's Confederate monuments, it's going right to the governor today. This morning, local activist groups, they plan to deliver over 1,000 petition signatures to Governor Doug Ducey, calling on him to take action and remove the Confederate monuments and change the name of the Jefferson Davis Highway. Ducey has said in the past that he had no plans to take them down.
As we look at your most accurate forecast, we're actually going to be warming up and flirting with the hundreds over the next few days. I'll break down your hour-by-hour planner next.
If you like stargazing, you're going to love this. This morning, we're actually flying through outer space, and so can you. We'll explain how coming up.
Where can you get virtual reality and kart racing all together? I'll let you know about an awesome event that's a week long coming up.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by CenturyLink.
All right, take a look at this right here. This is I-10 eastbound at 67th Avenue. On your left, you see our ADOT picture right there. On the right, that's the Camry Live Drive making its way down that area. So if you're headed out, just a heads up at that traffic jam.
All right, switching gears to a weather alert. Hurricane season not over yet, and we're watching a new storm. It's right here. That is Tropical Depression 16. It's churning in the Caribbean right now, dumping a whole lot of rain on Nicaragua and Honduras. Forecasts, though, show it actually becoming a hurricane, Hurricane Nate, by this weekend as it moves across the Gulf of Mexico, moving towards the U.S. Areas along the Gulf Coast of Florida, even southeastern Louisiana, could see strong winds, rough surf, and coastal flooding. And it's a situation we'll be watching closely through the weekend.
Yeah, and Iris, people there certainly aren't ready to deal with another major storm. 2 weeks after Hurricane Maria destroyed Puerto Rico, most there still have no food, no water, no power. This morning, the Department of Defense says it is ramping up relief efforts. The Department of Defense also saying it's delivering AT&T mobile cell towers to help, and that it's focused on getting people food, clean water, and supplies. Hurricane relief is about to get a big boost from all living former presidents. Later this month in Texas, there will be a benefit concert at the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library in College Station, Texas. Several country and rock musicians will be taking the stage there.
Well, you know, we have some great skies in Arizona. We normally see this in the sky, right? And just in time for all of the snowbirds and the holidays. There's a new attraction that will take you right into space. Embry-Riddle University is opening the first and the only planetarium in northern Arizona, and we are the first ones to get a sneak peek. ABC 15's Katie Connor joins us live from Prescott. Katie, this looks pretty cool.
This is incredible. There's nothing like just walking in and then all of a sudden you see this huge dome with outer space above. Absolutely incredible. We are actually going to fly through space to learn more about how this entire show works. I'm here with Eric. Walk us through all of this.
Right. So, well, when people come in, we like to show them something maybe they're a little bit familiar with. Maybe a couple people have visited Earth once or twice, I like to think. And so what we do after that is we head across the universe. We explore different planets and stars. And here I wanted to take you to a very interesting planet. It's one that when people see it through a telescope, they go, wow, it's interesting. Rumor has it it's Neil deGrasse Tyson's favorite planet. It's one of the gas giants, and one that is really big but also really light. Because if you put it in a giant tub of water, it would actually float. Though be careful for putting it in a bathtub. You don't really want to do that for too long because it might leave a ring. Because it is our ringed planet Saturn. There it is coming into full force, full view. It's a planet that is gorgeous to look at. But the closer you get, the more detail is revealed. Because if you get a really close-up view of those rings, you start to see that they're not whole rings. They are small particles, microns to meters in length. They are orbiting around this planet. They're small pieces that are part of this big system.
Wow, this really gives you a completely different perspective on outer space.
Oh, absolutely. You start to see more. The more that you discover different planets and stars, what's out there, you really know that there's more than just that we learn. It's really an incredible sight to see.
Oh, definitely. This is something incredible to see firsthand in person. Justin, coming up on ABC 15 Mornings, we're going to let you know when the shows are going to start so you can actually come up here and see them yourself. Awesome. Justin?
All right, sounds good, Katie. You got the really cool assignment. For the last 2 days, she's been rocking it. Thanks, Katie.
So different anniversaries call for different gifts, right? My husband and I are about to celebrate 2 years, so that's either cotton or China. So I do have a gift picked out, but I'm not giving that away
Already,
yet.
you've got it picked out?
Got to plan ahead for these things.
Okay, well, when you get to your 14 years,
okay,
that's apparently ivory or gold jewelry, but
I like
not
that.
in Smart Shopper world. Here's Chelsea Davis.
Your friends at Octane Raceway are celebrating their 14th anniversary! Forget the ivory or gold jewelry. Here, 14 means kart racing, food and drinks, cards to play all kinds of arcade games, and virtual reality. October 9th through the 14th, you can race for $14. Normally, it's $20. And did you know they have virtual reality here? It's a 3,500 square foot arena, the only one of its kind in the Western U.S. Up to 8 people can play at a time, running around, ducking and jumping untethered. It's normally $40 to $45. And look at this, for $14, choose between a Brickyard pretzel, cheese quesadilla, or onion ring tower, and get a signature cocktail, all for $14. It would normally start at $17. So come celebrate with the people who make your heart race. We'll put the details on our website for you, abc15.com/smartshopper. You can also get an Octane t-shirt for $14 when it's normally $20, and $20 worth of game tickets to go play in the arcade just for $14 as well.
So the virtual reality, how are you not like running into walls and stuff?
I know. Well, you might, but maybe they make you sign something before you go in.
That's true.
It gets serious.
Yeah, well, and it could be a good option because all that is inside in the AC. Iris, we're still a little warm, I'm not going to lie.
You know what? I know, it's tough, right? We're coming off of summer, temperatures in the triple digits. We don't want to complain too much, but we are still talking about unseasonably warm temperatures as highs once again flirt with the hundreds. We'll talk more about temperatures in a bit, but I wanted to show you the view as you're waking up with us here this morning. Good morning to you on this Thursday. We are starting out with some lingering cloud cover. We even had a few sprinkles overnight, so if you park your car outside, maybe not under the carport, you may have a few of those dried up sprinkle spots, I'll call them that, on your car here early this morning as I did. So we are off to a dry start though, after those sprinkles move through overnight. So those clouds are lingering for the next 2 hours, and then they'll clear out. But ABC 15 Desert Doppler showing you clear conditions across the valley right now. As you look at Desert Doppler to our northeast, so that's where I've been tracking some thunderstorms, primarily east of Holbrook, moving just north along the 40 over into New Mexico. A lot of lightning in that area, something to keep in mind if you're traveling there. Going through the afternoon, we'll see more thunderstorm chances, but those storm chances will be in this area of green, so mainly eastern Arizona. The valley is going to be dry, and those clouds from this morning, I think, clear out the rest of the day. We'll see sunny conditions. So you'll notice Futurecast pops up a few storms in that eastern pocket of our state. Could see some down to Safford and Douglas again today. The valley stays all dry, and then drier air filters in the next 7 days, looking sunny and dry for the Phoenix area. Still very warm though, high of 99 today, upper 90s through Saturday, but then another drop in temperatures coming early next week, low 90s by then. We'll talk about today's hour-by-hour planner next.
He knew food safety skills. He would change gloves frequently after handling food.
Yeah, he's not talking about a chef, he's talking about a burglar. You have to see what this guy did after breaking into a restaurant.
Plus, the monsoon is over and there is no rain in sight. So how are crews working to keep our dry grounds fire-free? But we all love Taco Tuesday, and it turns out a crook in Long Island also loves it so much that he broke into a Mexican restaurant.
Look at this. This guy's a pro right here. He puts on his gloves. He goes through the fridge. He's got to pick out his ingredients, you know. Then he starts cooking. He whipped up chicken and shrimp tacos with beans.
He was working the pot like a pro. He was sifting the food, shaking the pot around, making sure it was heated evenly, distributed evenly.
Okay, so when he's done, he actually washes the pots and pans and he puts them away. He did steal $100 from the cash register, but he left $1 in the tip jar.
That is just puzzling. Well, hey, we're going to switch gears here and talk about some technology fun, because Google announced some new phones, smart speakers, and all kinds of other devices to compete against the rivals of Amazon and Apple. And we're talking wireless headphones that can translate spoken language in real time, water-resistant phones with brighter screens, and pro-quality cameras that can handle virtual reality. We had a chance to speak with a technologist from Google this morning. We asked him, what's his favorite device?
I'm a little torn, to be honest. I really do love the new Pixelbook. I think it offers so much for people who are on the go. It's very lightweight, but also very powerful. And the Mini's pretty great. It's got all of the features that people have come to know, but also in this really cool form factor. And for $49, that's pretty hard to beat.
You heard it right, $49. Well, that mini speaker can also detect the size of your room and adapt to how to amplify music and your needs. Pretty cool. And now, since he mentioned money, let's talk about these prices. I looked them up to compare the phones versus all the other major retailers, and they're all really close. But I'm going to keep watching to see if any of those devices are going to drop in price, because the competition, we all know that one's going to rise.
It's deadline day for deferred action, but city leaders are pushing to give applicants more time. Their efforts coming up.
That fire comes down the mountain, it will be fast and furious.
Dry conditions, no rain in the forecast. For one group of firefighters, their work is never done, hoping to save homes from potential wildfires.
And showing some love for the D-backs, our state's other pros supporting the Snakes as they move on in the playoffs. We're checking in with fans coming up.
And the sun came up 2 minutes ago. I'll show you what to expect as you head out the door with your most accurate drive time forecast.
All right, pop the corks, because it is a celebration. The D-backs going for the triples to pull off a huge win.
Yeah, we are looking at your highlights, hearing from fans, and see how our boy Fitz reacted to the game.
City leaders taking last-minute action to try and get more people to apply for the Deferred Action Program. The deadline is today. We'll have all the details straight ahead.
And safeguarding your home, how state firefighters are working in the valley to prevent disaster.
Everything is changing. Now we are not anymore fashion designers. Nobody can say I'm just a fashion designer.
And adapting with technology and creating so-called fusionists, how ASU is at the helm of this trend.
It is 6:31. A good morning to you. Maybe you're getting ready to head out the door, start your Thursday morning. Well, enjoy the drive into work maybe by rolling those windows down. Temperatures aren't bad. They're mild, but we're down to 76 degrees this morning. Enjoy it, because by this afternoon, we are flirting with 100. I think we top out right at 99 degrees, a warm to even hot day, but temperatures will be closer to average in that 7-day forecast. I'll show you when we'll see another cool down.
And here's a quick check on your desert drive times right here. You see some red on the map at I-10 going into the city. That's just your typical building spot. And then the 101 and the 17 up there. Had an accident there earlier this morning. It looks like it has still not recovered. So just a heads up if you're headed out this morning.
To second. Ball game. LA, here they come.
All right, I feel like we should hug each other, right?
I know. We can if you want.
We didn't do any work, but I mean, we're excited. The D-backs, they're heading to the National League Division Series to take on the Dodgers.
Yeah, the game at Chase Field, it was just one for the ages. The sellout crowd at Chase Field, they got the show they were looking for. One of the D-backs' biggest stars got things going early. America's first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt, with 2 men on, launches this one into the left field bleachers, giving the D-backs an early 3-run lead. The Rockies, they were pesky, though. A 1-run game when Archie Bradley steps up to the plate, and there you have it. The pitcher delivers with a huge triple. Fear the beard, right? After the game, everybody wanted to talk about Archie's big hit.
He's built for that moment. That's his personality. You know, you're talking about an elite high school athlete that understands what it's like to be on the big stage. He steps up and he loves to be in that environment, and it translated.
11-8 is your final. 19 total runs, 30 total hits. D-backs and Rockies certainly putting the Wild in wild card.
And the fans, they got what they wanted. I mean, Chase Field just packed. More than 48,000 fans they turned out. Almost all of them, they stayed until the very end, and then they came out on that just adrenaline high with chants of beat LA.
That was the most awesome game I've ever seen. Goldie, I love you, Goldie. You have my heart. You have my heart. I love you, Goldie. Goldie, you have his heart. Los Angeles, the Valley of the Sun has come for you. Let's go beat LA.
I love it. You have my heart. The win over the Rockies is the first time the D-backs have won a game in the postseason since 2011. And the game was a nail-biter. Fans were tense all night as the Rockies just kept coming back. One of those fans right there, yeah, Larry Fitzgerald, the Cardinals wide receiver, focused to be sure. The Cards tweeting that Larry has nerves of steel in every situation. By the way, Kurt Warner threw out that first pitch.
Yeah, an exciting night for Arizona sports for sure. So now it is on to the National League Divisional Series. Games 1 and 2 against the Dodgers will be in LA. Game 3 is next Monday back here at Chase Field, as well as a Game 4 if that's needed. If there is a deciding Game 5, it will be back in Los Angeles. Tickets, though, they are on sale right now.
And we have a live poll question this morning. We want to know just how far the Diamondbacks are going to go. Are they going to go in the playoffs? Are they going to fall to the Dodgers? Are they going to advance to the National League Championship? Maybe they're going to advance to the World Series. Maybe they're just going to go on to win the whole thing. 50% of you think right now they're going to advance to the World Series. This is a live poll. Again, just log on to abc15.com/poll to sound off.
I feel like we're getting more optimistic as the morning goes on. That's great news. That big win, of course, even sweeter as the Maricopa County Stadium District approved a multi-million-dollar contract to repair Chase Field. That money will go towards steel and concrete repair work. It's been more than a year of feuding on who would pay for those repairs.
On a more serious note here, the Diamondbacks starting off the game by paying tribute to one of the victims of the Las Vegas shooting, including Christina Duarte. She's the U of A grad that worked for the team as an intern. Today, the Los Angeles Kings, they're going to pay tribute to her. She joined the hockey team this summer as a fan service associate. Kings players, they're going to wear a CD sticker on their helmets, and staff members will wear a special pin. The team will also honor Chrissy and all of the victims with a special pregame ceremony.
Now to the investigation into that shooting as we take a live look of where that shooting happened. The Route 91 Festival, there still you see a lot of cars in that area. Just a sobering sight to see that this morning. The FBI says the girlfriend of the gunman denies knowing anything was going to happen. She thought that he was breaking up with her, but investigators, think he did act alone, but still had some type of help. Now, we have heard so much, meantime, about hurricanes ravaging communities, but here in the desert, wildfires, those are our worry. And all new this morning, even though the season is dying down, the work never stops. Fire crews taking action here in the valley to protect homes from what could happen. And ABC 15's John Genovese shares more.
Donning chainsaws and hard hats, breaking down brush a few tree limbs at a time.
It has been very overgrown and it has never been cleared.
Heidi Dalhoff oversees North Scottsdale's Rio Montana neighborhood. It backs to the McDowells. This wash runs right beside.
If that fire comes down the mountain, it will be fast and furious.
For state wildland crews, the work never ends. This team's among 12 staffed by inmates, moving from mountains to perform maintenance near homes.
A wildfire can happen anywhere.
Tiffany DeVilla with the State Forestry Department says Rio Montana is in the process of earning its national FireWise status. Right now there's 75 FireWise communities across the state. This one will hopefully join just a few others here in the valley.
We tell homeowners to trim back their trees, move away dry brush from their property, clear out their gutters.
Helping create up to 30 feet of what's known as defensible space.
It gives us better access and better ability to put the fire out.
A fire the 250 families here hope through what's being done will never show up at their door.
To keep it clear and just so that they know it's for their safety.
John Genovese, ABC 15, Arizona.
Well, the state and Scottsdale Fire Department do hope to have work completed in that neighborhood in just the next few weeks. For more on how your neighborhood can earn its FireWise status, just head to firewise.org.
Now to the immigration battle this morning. Today, the last chance for people to take action on their deferred action. The so-called DACA program cut by the Trump administration last month, and since then advocacy groups, they've been trying to get folks to renew their status one last time. ABC 15's Megan Thompson. She joins us live near 16th Street and Buckeye. And Megan, the city really making a last-ditch effort this morning.
That is exactly right, Justin. So the mayor, the vice mayor, some council members, they drafted this letter just yesterday and sent it off to the Department of Homeland Security, asking and begging them to extend the deadline for people to apply for the Deferred Action Program, as that deadline is today. They say the current one, quote, only serves to impose extreme hardship, going on to say that Phoenix will take a hit of more than $1.3 billion each year in lost gross domestic product as this program comes to an end. This comes just after Mayor Stanton announced he would donate $10 grand from campaign funds to pay for roughly 20 DACA renewals. But House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi said in a town hall just last night that she is promising she will make sure a Clean Dream Act is passed by December, telling the audience about the conversation she had with President Trump.
It's very important for you to send a message to our dreamers that you're not going after not to worry about this, because this is a worry we all have.
And as of now, there is no extension given based on this letter. We will obviously keep you updated on if they do respond to this. And if you know someone or you are someone who needs to reapply for that DACA program, make sure you go to abc15.com/15 links. You'll get the paperwork you need, and then you'll need to come down here in person to physically deliver that paperwork. Reporting live in Phoenix, Megan Thompson, ABC 15, Arizona.
All right, it is 6:39 on this Thursday morning. A good morning to you. I'm meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. We are off to a great start on this Thursday morning. Believe it or not, we had some clouds move through overnight. We still have some of them lingering across the valley. Those clouds managed to squeeze out a few sprinkles across parts of Phoenix, but the roads all dry for your morning commute, and those clouds will be clearing out soon. It's 76 degrees now as you wake up, start your day here with us. We'll be back into the 80s by 9 a.m. and those skies clearing out. Eventually, we end up with a high of 99 degrees today, very close to that triple-digit mark. I'll show you the cooler weather in that 7-day forecast still ahead.
This morning, we're flying to Saturn, and so can you. We'll explain how coming up.
This conference is taking everything you see on here and bringing it to real life. Get ready, Pinterest lovers. I'll tell you all about it.
All right, our image of the day today, it's going to the dogs. Check out these photos. These pups, I guarantee you, they're probably still sleeping after the fun they had. Aren't these adorable photos? They were at last night's DACA game. The PetSmart Patio Doggy Suites opened up last night for the first playoff game. So you know they had fun. Those with tickets, they got all you can eat food, the dogs and their parents. And the pups even got doggy ice cream too. And of course, a big win at the end. Why not?
I like those two little pups right at the top of the,
they're
in the
just
middle.
chilling.
They're just chilling.
Yeah, they clearly brought the D-backs some extra luck.
You know what? I think you're right.
Pets and people cheering them on.
Keep them around throughout the playoffs.
Very cute.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by CenturyLink.
All right, lots of red popping up on your CenturyLink maps. These are your usual delays, but we do have one trouble spot. This is going to be on the westbound Loop 202 at Santan near Val Vista. That crash just cleared. Thankfully, it was blocking the HOV lane, so hopefully that's going to clear up quite nicely.
Well, the valley is a great spot for stargazing, but have you ever wondered what all those stars represent?
Yeah, you can find out inside a brand new planetarium in Prescott on the Embry-Riddle campus. It just opened this week, and we are getting our first look inside. ABC 15's Katie Connor, she has the honors this morning. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, Justin. This is pretty cool. Actually, check out, that is Mars right there. We actually flew through outer space to get there from Earth, and this is what people are going to see when they come to the planetarium here on the Embry-Riddle campus. To learn more, I'm actually here with Andy. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Welcome. Thank you.
So when we think of your university, we think a lot of aviation. So why did you guys want to build a planetarium?
So we do lots more than aviation. We are based on aviation and aerospace, but we also teach space physics and astronomy. We have fantastic engineering programs here, forensics, global security and intelligence. So we also like to think of ourselves as a STEM university. And with that, we want to reach out to the community and help people understand STEM and get more kids interested in STEM education and STEM opportunities when they finish their schooling.
So you guys are going to be opening this up, having actually kids in here getting to learn firsthand about our solar system, about outer space.
Right, so we're working with school districts in the local area right now and hopefully expanding that out on a broader scale regionally and statewide. And what we want to do is get school groups to come in and utilize the planetarium, but also all of the facilities here at Embry-Riddle and enrich their learning in the classroom, make it relevant to what they're doing in the classroom so that they understand the advantages and the opportunities of science education.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for letting us in for the sneak peek. This is definitely something to see. They are expected to actually start shows this winter, so make sure to check their website for the updated list of when they're going to start. Reporting live from Prescott, Katie Connor, ABC 15, Arizona.
All right, thanks, Katie. 6:46, and students in Mesa learning some life lessons around the world and putting their city in the international spotlight. If you've ever seen this bear statue or maybe this next street sign off East Pepper Place and Center, then you already know a bit about Mesa's Sister Cities program. That bear, by the way, was a gift from Burnaby, Canada, one of 5 places around the world taking part in the Youth Ambassador Exchange program. Each student spends 3 weeks with a host family in Canada, Peru, Mexico, China, or New Zealand, then returns the favor by hosting a student from that country.
To become an international traveler at 16 and feel confident with where he was going and safe and enjoy the experience and want to go back, that was great. That was icing on the cake.
Applications for 2018 are due Friday, so you can head to mesasistercities.org for all the information.
All new at 6, the world's next fashion designers could come straight out of ASU's new fashion program. The university testing the limits as the industry changes. So more and more technology, it's fusing with fashion. At the helm of that trend, Galena, she's a visiting professor who's made smart garments in Singapore.
The technology is changing the roles of the fashion designer, and now we are almost like a fusionist. We are people that we need to know the technology, the process, the whole environmental impact.
So these students are taking a basic sewing class right now, but they are in the process of making shirts for their fashion show coming up in November. But before that show, More fashion is going to be on display in the Valley. Today kicks off Phoenix Fashion Week at the Talking Stick Resort in Scottsdale. It runs through Saturday. 24 designers and emerging designers, they're going to showcase their work.
Okay, well, creative people, even not so creative people, you're going to want to listen to this because the Pinners Conference is back in town.
You heard it right, Pinners, as in Pinterest. And this is not your typical arts and crafts festival. Here's our smart shopper, Chelsea Davis.
Oh, that backsplash, pinning, and that dress, pinned it. Look at all the inspiration for all the DIY. All you Pinterest lovers out there know you can literally spend hours drooling over everything that's on the app or online, but now you can see everything up close and personal. Pinners Conference and Expo returns to Westworld in Scottsdale on Friday and Saturday, where you can connect as consumers, brands, and influencers all in one spot. You can learn, create, and shop everything you've pinned online. There will be 100 classes and over 200 shops. We're talking beauty, fashion, DIY, crafts, lifestyle, food, home decor, party planning, photography, health, fitness, and more. Last year, Pinners brought this event to Phoenix for the first time and had about 10,000 people in attendance. And this year, they're expecting even more. Tickets for the conference start at $7 online or $8 at the door. Of course, they have 1-day, 2-day, and VIP options. Plus, for $29, you can sign up for an annual library pass for all of the classes and get live stream access to all the conferences if you can't make it. There are several different discounts and promo codes that you can get, and I put them on our website for you, abc15.com/smartshopper. And speaking of those discount codes, when I was searching, I literally found too many to name. But for example, Snap Happy Mom, you can enter the code SNAP and you're going to get 10% off. And other exhibitors have codes too, ranging 10, 25 to 50% off. I say let's pin our weather, right, Iris?
Oh my gosh, I love this, Chelsea. And you know what? Hopefully those classes, the hands-on lessons, will help me avoid the Pinterest fail. You know that, when you try to bake something and it looks nothing like the photos, so we need those hands-on lessons. All right, let's talk about your most accurate forecast here this morning. We're starting out with a little bit of cloud cover across the valley. We even had a few sprinkles move through overnight. Most of us, though, enjoying a dry night. Just a few of us saw some of those sprinkles. And those clouds, they won't linger for too long, just through about that 9 o'clock hour. I think after that, we're going to see more of that sunshine with sunny conditions. So the next 6 hours looking fairly pleasant in the 70s through 8 o'clock. Then the 80s set in, and then we're back to 90 by 11 o'clock with 93 for your lunch hour. Today, coming very close to that triple-digit mark. Phoenix tops out at 99. Tempe also hits 99, and Ahwatukee hits 99 as well. Not as warm in spots like Fountain Hills or Carefree, where we're in the mid-90s, but still, these are above average high temperatures. That 30-year average is 93, a hot 99 today in Levine, 98 in Avondale, and Litchfield Park also hits 99 degrees. You'll notice temperatures across the state in the 70s and 80s in that northern half of Arizona. Today, a very warm to hot day across the state, but that 7-day forecast does bring us a nice cool down. I'll show you that in just a bit.
I'm Megan Thompson live in Phoenix today, the last day for people to take action for deferred action. What you need to know if you need to apply.
And the World Series, oh, it's in our sight. The D-backs moving on after a wild game. How you can get tickets to the next series. Your top stories at 6:54. The party's still going as the D-backs advance in the playoffs.
Yeah, the champagne flowing in the locker room after the big win against the Colorado Rockies. It was triple after triple after triple that really sealed the deal. Pitcher Archie Bradley giving the fans something to talk about when he got 2 runs home.
It is on to the National League Divisional Series now. Games 1 and 2 against the Dodgers will be in LA. Game 3 is next Monday back here at Chase Field, as well as Game 4 if we even need that. Tickets are on sale now.
I'm Megan Thompson live in Phoenix as today is the last day to reapply for the DACA program. This is the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program that is ending under the Trump administration. They said that they will have, Nancy Pelosi, House Speaker, said that they're going to have a solution in December. But the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, they are still urging people to come down, apply with that deadline. We have a link for you on abc15.com/15 links if you or someone you know needs to apply. Reporting live in Phoenix, Megan Thompson, ABC 15, Arizona.
Now to the Las Vegas shooting. Investigators are having a really hard time finding the motive for that mass shooting. The gunman led a private life, and his girlfriend denies knowing anything was being planned. Authorities don't believe that he acted alone, but don't know who could have helped him. Closer to home, we are getting a lot of calls and emails about a school threat at the Dysart High School this morning. El Mirage police say that messages were left for students overnight, but they say the same phone number is responsible for several threats across the country, and they don't believe there is a viable threat.
Two Valley Grand